What is up and welcome back to another episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm here with my boy, Mikey. He's gonna be out here learning me some good old techniques out here. We're gonna be using some swim baits, and if you really wanna get more in depth with that, you know, I'm more about the adventure and stuff like that. He's gonna show us how to graph and find the fish, and then he is going to show us how to catch them.
I'm gonna try.
He's gonna try to show us how to catch them. Hopefully, we can find some fish. Hit that like and subscribe button, and let's go fishing, guys. No shit. Oh, there's one right there. Largy.
What's your today?
Yeah, dude. Ooh, that's how you get popped right there, buddy.
Yeah.
He's feisty. Oh, yeah, bog. Like that fishy? He's crazy. Yeah, almost. Pretty close. I don't know, yesterday was pretty litty though, you know. I caught one on the first 3 casts in a row.
Actually not. I know, like black and fucking bait. Like when they're schooling, it's a lot more.
I see it. See it. Here, you don't have to get that close, dude. I can get it. I can get it, dude. Check it. Watch. Yeah, don't hit no rocks, dude. Oh, shit. No, I gotta go get it. That doesn't happen too often.
At least it floats.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Well, what? You have your reel?
Yeah. What an idiot.
I'm not seeing that fucker anymore. Where's the trap?
It's down there. It fell on the other side of that rock. Don't worry about it.
Magic bait. It's purple and freaking yellow.
Shoot.
I got traps. I got so many baits in this boat.
Yeah. There you go. It's a small. Caught a catfish? That's a smallie.
Super dark smallie, dude. Nice.
Oh, hey, man. Oh. He broke the line. Bog. Boggy boy. Yeah, you just love fishy. Oh, look at him pissing everywhere.
Really?
Yeah. He's missing an eye, too. He swallowed that swim bait. Look at that, guys. That's a super dark, and these fish are warm. Just on that bog loves the smallies, don't you? Extra love for the smallie. Yeah, look at this guy's eye. It's like it's pretty cool. It's like it's kind of coated. I don't know. It's pretty cool though. But what a cool color. I've only ever caught a smallmouth this color one time before, and it was in that rock quarry that you guys have seen in a couple of my videos. There's like one that I caught in there one time, and I filmed it, but I deleted that footage on accident. We're gonna let this guy go back. See ya. That's what I call a brown fish right there, dude. Yeah. It is an impact swim bait, right? It's called.
So Dalton, you got some questions for me. Dude.
All right, dude. So explain to me, what are all these panels on your graph right here?
Sure. So what you're looking at right here is I have spread out my side scan on each graph that I have, so I can get like a bigger picture of it. I got my map right here. This is when I'm idling around and like scanning for fish, and then I have 2D sonar right here, and then I have two versions of what they call down scan or high frequency, like 455 kilohertz going down to megahertz. I don't even know what it is, but it's two versions, two color palettes of my down scan.
Whenever we're looking at this side scan right here, I'm really interested in it because you guys know I don't have any of these crazy electronics, none of the bells and whistles on my boat. I'm old school as it gets, pretty much, just sight fisherman and fish by feel. But so I've never really worked with these the side scan, and
Right.
I'm really interested in it because it looks cool, one, and two, I mean, it catches fish.
Well, it expands your view.
Yeah.
Instead of just looking straight down under the boat, we're looking 100 feet out on each side, dude.
Right.
So literally, I'm covering 3 times as much water as I could if I was just looking down.
Right, and so it starts recording at the back of the boat. So technically, whenever you see something on that graph and you mark it, it will be behind the boat, right?
It'll be behind and outside of the boat on right or left.
But I can tag it wherever I want.
Yeah, I could, like, if I hit my screen right there, beep, and friggin' mark it, it'll actually waypoint on the map exactly where it is, not just directly under the boat. It'll be precisely where I'm marking it on the side.
Cool, because it's always something that I always like. I don't know. Whenever I see these things, I'm always asking questions. You know, what am I looking for and why? Like, at what point do you stop? You know,
Yeah,
like, what point do you?
What I'm looking for, it depends. We're like in a fall, winter kind of period. So I'm looking for one bait, and I'll see that on the side scan as sort of balls that have shadows, because usually they're up off the bottom. Or two, ideally, it doesn't always happen, but I'm looking for fish. And those will look like little hash marks with some shadows or little dots towards the bottom. And sometimes I'll see them on my side scan, sometimes I'll see them on my down scan and my 2D. On my 2D, they look like little arcs. We were actually talking about it earlier today. You know, they look like little arcs with some yellow in them. The bait, and it depends on what pallet you use, but the bait will look like little arcs, but it doesn't have that yellow kind of blob in it. And then on down scan, that thing that shoots straight down onto the boat, actually it'll look just kind of like these little dots that you're seeing, these little white dots. Those are bass.
Right. Okay, so let's go into more depth. What exactly are we looking for whenever we're trying to find bait?
When I'm looking for bait, it's literally just seeing the balls either on your side scan or straight down. You know, I'll see them on my 2D, I'll see them on the side scan, and obviously using your map too to put yourself in an area where they should be. You know, the bait's not going to be everywhere, but you can see it. It's super identifiable, dude. It'll be like this ball that's not attached to the bottom.
Yeah. And then whenever you're looking for your bass that you're looking for, because obviously we're fishing for bass, not crappie. How do you tell the difference between a bass and say crappie or maybe stripe?
The size of the marks, so it's going to be the size of the marks on my down scan. A very light dot or a very small dot is going to be mostly your panfish and things like that. The exception being spots tend to show up a little bit lighter, but what you can do then is you cross-reference it against your 2D, and if you see a dot on your down scan and you look at your 2D and there's an arc there that's pretty like solid, thick, and yellow, it's usually a bass. If you're on a body of water with stripers, the way you identify the stripers is one, by size. If it's a gigantic arc or a gigantic dot and you're on a body of water where you're only catching 1 to 3 pounders, probably not a bass, probably a striper. And the other thing is, graphs are a lot about context. So where are you? If you're in 67 feet next to the dam and you see a giant arc way down there, it's probably a stripe or a catfish. But if you see it like in a pocket, you know, up a little bit shallower, probably a bass.
Have you ever seen a monster catfish on one of these things?
I have, and I actually caught one on this lake that we're on.
No
Dude. It was like a
way.
25 pounder on a freaking on a drop shot. But that's a whole nother story.
On a drop shot.
On a drop shot, it took like 10-15 minutes.
We need to hear that
It was
story.
an 8-pound test.
We need to hear that story at some time. Go ahead and leave a like and a comment for that, and let me know if you want to hear that story on this channel, because I want to hear that story personally. Whenever you find the fish on your graph, what makes you decide to say, hey, I'm going to stop this, this is it, I found it, versus, you know, I'm scrolling along and I'm like, okay, those are bass, those are bass, those are bass, versus, you know, being like, this is the bass that I want to catch.
If you're good enough to find that many fish, dude, I praise you. Because if I see bass and they're halfway, like usually if there's a few of them, fish are competitive, you know? So like if there's more than one, you can usually trigger one to bite and it'll get the rest going. So usually if there's like 3 or more that are grouped together, it tells me one, there's something about that structure, that area that they're on that's drawing them in, and 2, that there's a group, you know, there's more than one, so I think they're catchable. Another thing too, I catch a lot of suspended bass, but they're tweaky. Your most catchable fish are going to be within 3 to 5 feet of the bottom. The exception maybe being spots and smallmouth. They get weird. Spots especially get super suspended, but when you're talking largemouth, if they're more than sort of like 2 to 4, 3 to 5 feet off the bottom, you're gonna have a hell of a time catching them. So that's what I'm looking for. Tighter to the bottom, more than one, like a small grouping, because it indicates there's some kind of structure, and it also makes them competitive too, and it, in my opinion, makes them easier to catch. So Dalton, let's go ahead, let's take a look at this point right here, dude, because I'm gonna idle on over it. We're kind of coming over the point, and on the other side there's a little bit of a ditch, so you can see on the side scan the little trough right there. And now, actually, dude, look. Dude, so those little hashes and then these little marks on my down scan, that's actually, dude, that's a huge group of them. I don't know if they're spots or largemouth or smallmouth, but that's a tight group, dude. And you should see how they're lined up on the bottom like we were talking about. They're lined up really nice. Those are catchable fish, dude. And we haven't caught much else, so let's try to catch these jokers and see if we can't get into it, dude. All right, Dave?
Sit it.
All right.
Just tightening it up. Dial it in.
Doing the same thing where you kind of like let it flutter to the bottom and then come up again. You gotta put your swim bait on.
Dude, a big old spot, dude. Oh boy. He's not as big.
That's another chunky spot. That's a long spot, boy.
It's a little one, but
it's a spot.
It's a spot.
But you notice how Dalton kind of paused right there for a second, and then she chowed it.
Oh, you just spit up some bait.
Coughed up that freaking minnow right there. Coughed up just a little tiny minnow.
Hey man, it'll do.
Just hold it really close to the camera.
Oh yeah. Gotta get a good sniff on your channel, dude. You know. Oh, clean up your boat for you, buddy. Oh dude, that's wild looking. I'm already touching it, so I'm gonna look at it. Look at that. It's its spine, dude. Oh, dude! Oh. Dude, look at that. The man's on, dude. Oh, the
Another fat one. Another spot. Now it seems like we caught some in the largemouth, and really, usually you think you're gonna catch all the spots first. Dude, that's another fat spot, dude. Look at that thing. Like, that's a chunky.
That's a football, dude.
It really is, dude. That's that same deal. Like, these spots, like when you catch them and they're fat, like that fish will weigh like 2 1/4, 2.5 pounds, dude. They're so stocky. Peace out.
Better than the last one. No, it's about the same size. It's a lot. Oh, it's a spot. Oh. Really? Came up for it? Well, I'll see you later, Larry.
Oh dear. That might be a small one. buddy,
Get up, dog.
We should have a little on wood.
Oh, no, he's not as good.
That's another spot.
He felt good.
But all you're gonna do is
This little Kitech right here, boys, is doing some magic on that little 3/8 ounce ball jig. I would tell you guys how we're using it, but you're gonna have to go over to my boy's Mikey's channel if you want to learn how we catching these fish. He
taught Dalton how to do it.
He taught me how to do it. I mean, this is my first time ever doing this, so sweetness. Yeah, there's the fish right there. That's the fish. That's a better one. Good spot. Oh, fell off.
Throwing fish at me, Dalton, boy. Ease up, boy.
Look at that.
Dog likes it. Chill out, dog.
Whew, pretty fish. Bog loves fishies.
If I eat before I fucking leave, or before I get home, it gets a little messy, and then I don't do my shit when I get home.
Yeah.
Throw food in.
You bought my lunch last time. I think you bought my lunch last 2 times.
Yeah, but you worked the gambler tournament.
Yeah, still.
All right, down into him and have him.
Alright, I got about 10 more in me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, too.
Wind's kind of hot now. Now we can just go across the dam and
Yeah.
as long as my battery holds, it's spot right there. Yeah, because it's an hour and a half ride too.
So this trolling motor will eat a battery with all
It's
your...
not a battery, it's a target, dude.
Really?
Terrain.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's a better one. It's definitely better.
Coming up late, boy.
The last cast, dude.
That was the last cast.
Dude, it's a good one. It's a good one.
Oh!
It's a smallie. It's a smallie, bro. It's a stud. Last cast. Let's go, baby.
That's what we've been looking for to close it out.
Go!
Stud smallmouth.
I got him. Oh, I don't got him. What's that, dude? Boggs definitely got him. Here we go, Boggs. Let me have the fish, buddy. Whew. What is he? What do you think that is? A 2.5, 3?
Last cast of the day. We just said we were leaving. Check out that old brown fish. Let's get her released on. Right over here, dude. Boggs all fired up because he's in his barbacorn uniform. Oh, yeah. Here we go. What a beautiful way to end it. Thing tugged. Nice job, bro.
Thanks, man. All right, guys, that's a freaking wrap, boy. We whacked him.
Dude, that was so much fun.
We whacked him, boy.
A whole bunch of them, too, dude.
He killed it, though. Like, the master was definitely at work here, but...
we did some fun swim baiting, though, dude.
But I did wind up catching them. I mean, I'd never used a graph to catch fish before, ever.
Every kind of fish.
And
caught every kind of bass.
Yeah, dude, that's right.
A spot, a largemouth, and a gigantic smallmouth.
We both got the Grand Slam.
We both Grand Slam, dude.
We did. Slapped them, dude.
Slapped them,
Slapped them, boy. If you're here, you might have clicked on it because it has Mikeybalzz in the title. But where can they find you, just in case you don't know?
Dude, just type in Mikeybalzz, Mikeybalzz, into any search engine, like literally anywhere.
Any of them.
And the first thing that you click on is either going to be my social media or my YouTube channel. So go check it out. We got a ton of videos on there. Learn how to catch some fish and catch some bigs.
Like I said, he taught me today. So this was the catching. This is the learning right here. And he also did some damn well catch him too. I mean, you know. So go over there, and he's gonna be linked below. Go ahead, give him a sub. Well, anyways, I'm gonna not waste your guys' time on this outro, so I'm gonna get on out of here. But until next time, guys, tight lines, and may the fishing gods be with you. Peace.